we really worked hard
Uh-huh.
to get our customer base.
Yes.
And the one thing that we decided to do
Uh-huh.
was to do something nobody else did in 1984.
What's that?
Hand-pattied, fresh, seasoned burgers.
Okay.
And that's what got us started. Back then, everything was patties, and we have a special seasoning.
Uh-huh.
And that's what made us set apart.
And so right off the bat is when the famous burger started then.
Yep, 1984.
1984. You heard that there. That is Judy Gish, co-owner of the legendary local establishment CJ's Pub, talking about what instantly set them apart when they first opened, all the way back in 1984. More of that later, but first, thank you for listening to another episode of Round the Bend Now and Then. My name is Matt Emery, and I'm a local history nerd. My main mission in this podcast, as well as other Round the Bend material, is to create engaging content that shares how intertwined the South Bend and Mishawaka area's past is to our present. In the podcast, I interview local leaders, business owners, and community members to help tell their stories, because their stories help tell the story of South Bend and Mishawaka. 1984. Gas cost $1.10 a gallon. Minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. Teenagers were blasting Prince's When Doves Cry on cassette tapes. And Ghostbusters, Karate Kid, and Beverly Hills Cop headlined the movie theaters. 1984 is also the year that a legendary local establishment opened just north of downtown South Bend. And that local establishment, 41 years later, is still serving up their legendary pub burgers and cold beer to generations of patrons, CJ's Pub. In this episode, I meet with the co-owner of CJ's Pub, Judy Gish. Anytime there's a local business or organization that's been around for that long, I am always so intrigued, and I want to learn what makes places like this stand the test of time. What makes, literally, generations of people keep coming back. In this episode, you'll learn all about the story behind CJ's Pub from 1984 to present day. I hope that you'll gain a true appreciation for a local legendary spot. It hasn't always been easy, and CJ's has faced multiple barriers over the years that, in all honesty, would probably put a lot of places out of business. But you'll learn that with hard work, tenacity, and a focus on customers and community, a small business can thrive and positively impact generations of patrons. So be sure to stop by CJ's Pub on the corner of Michigan and Wayne Street in downtown South Bend and enjoy a burger and a beverage. A link to their website, cjs-pub.com, is in the show notes. Before we dive into our interview with Judy Gish, I wanted to take a moment to thank the sponsors of this episode. MT Box Computers on Mishawaka Avenue in River Park, the Mishawaka Historical Museum, and the Portage Township Trustee's Office. I highly encourage you to support these three local organizations. You'll learn more about them later in the episode. And now, learn all about the story behind CJ's Pub, a local legendary spot serving our community since 1984. Judy, thank you for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. CJ's Pub is it's been in South Bend since 1984, so that's our legendary local spot.
Yeah.
41?
It'll be 40. It was 40 years.
Last year or whatever. Wow. So yeah, it's 41 years old.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And so anytime there's a business that has been that keyed into the neighborhood, the community, the city, I always want to shine a light on it. And so I want to hear we're going to talk about the history behind it, the ups and downs, the goods, the bads, the uglies, and all that good stuff.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And before we start, folks, I encourage you to visit CJ's Pub. Go get yourself one of the world famous pub burgers, and you'll sit back and have a good time with your friends. You'll walk out of there stuffed full, but knowing that you spent time in a local establishment. Judy, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you went to high school.
Okay. We opened the bar in 1984, and it was actually my sister's idea.
Yeah.
She's the one that found the place. She's the one that this is what she wanted to do. And so that kind of credit goes to her.
Right. Gotcha.
And then I was married.
Okay.
I have 2 sons, and now I have 2 sons, 2 grandsons, and a great-grandson, and a granddaughter. Isn't that wonderful?
That's beautiful.
Yeah,
that is.
And I've been married 47 years.
Which is a blessing.
Yes, it was. And Cindy found this place. It was a bar, but not, it was just kind of there.
Yeah.
So anyway, she's the one that orchestrated everything and got it.
Yep.
So we're getting ready to open, and my sister has to have back surgery.
Lord.
So we called my brother. He came home.
Okay.
To help out, and that's how that all started.
So even before that, your sister had a hankering or had a
always wanted to open up. Yep, a bar.
Your sister Cindy,
yes,
correct? And so Cindy always wanted to open a bar, and then in the early 1980s, she got serious with it.
Yeah, she did.
And did she have the location, the bar first before asking you to join her?
Oh, she had it. She had it first, and she's, and then, I don't know, it was 40 years ago, 41.
Of course.
So we all kind of gathered together and stuff like that. That's how, but she found the location.
Man, and she kind of twisted your arm.
She was the events coordinator at Century Center.
So she had worked with people, with food, with organizing, ordering.
Absolutely, everything.
Things. All those things and more that you need to run a place. Run a place like that. Some people can put 2 and 2 together, but how did you get the name CJ's?
Cindy, Judy, Ricky, Joe.
Cindy, Judy, Ricky, Joe. That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome? Real creative.
CJ's. But now you just say CJ's and people know.
Yeah.
You don't even need to say CJ's Pub.
Yeah.
CJ's. I'm going to CJ's. That's great. Now, as far as your brother, in asking him to come on up and help after you said Cindy had back surgery, he had a gig going. He had a good thing going down in Florida, right?
He was an entertainer.
Okay.
And he had a band in high school, the Illusions.
Okay.
He played for the Shags at Notre Dame.
Nice.
And he was always into music.
Yeah.
And we lost our dad early.
Okay.
And he was going to school to be an accountant. And when my dad passed away at 58, he said, "No, I want to go with my dream.
I want to live. I
want my dream."
Yes.
And to be an entertainer.
Right. So he was in Florida when you called him to come back up.
Yes.
Man, and he was doing that for a while, and he decided to leave sunny Florida back to sunny South Bend.
And he also, in between, I'm probably jumping stones.
Yeah, whatever.
He has, he had an album out.
Okay.
And when he left to be the entertainer, that was the album, and then he took it to where he played. Now, he not only played in Florida, he was in all over. Yeah. And he had his album, and he sold it.
I see. Yeah. I see. And then he came on back to help his sisters run a brand new adventure.
Yes. And we needed him. And, back then, back surgery was pretty bad. She was in the hospital for a while. So he ended up, staying. And he's being the entertainer. And the personality he had, he was perfect for the place.
Yeah. And that's kind of also not only to help with your sister's back surgery, but just his personality.
Yes.
Now, when you guys opened in 1984, I was 6 years old.
Wow.
So I wouldn't have been in there that young.
No.
The original location was at 417 North Michigan Street. And anybody who's only been around for a few decades in our area right now, that is just an open parking lot right south of Memorial Hospital and Marmain Apartments there.
Yeah, and we were right across the street from the McDonald's.
Yes, which is still there.
Yeah.
And you were there several decades. Do you recall any early challenges at all at that spot, or any early issues launching and becoming?
No, we really worked hard to get our customer base.
Yes.
And the one thing that we decided to do was to do something nobody else did in 1984.
What's that?
Hand patted, fresh, seasoned burgers.
Okay.
And that's what got us started. Back then, everything was patties, and we have a special seasoning. And that's what made us set apart.
And so right off the bat is when the famous burger started then.
Yep. 1984.
I got you. And so along with those burgers, you think the burgers were a big part of bringing people back in and
I think so, yeah, our food.
contributed?
And I'll tell you something, quality.
Okay.
We never went down on our quality or our
Okay.
size
Okay.
during everything. We
Yeah.
never went down on anything.
And so putting all that love and care and quality into each burger and then never skimping brings people back.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. And now a word from one of our sponsors. I want to talk a minute about the government of Portage Township right here in South Bend. Portage Township trustee Jason Critchlow and his team continue to fight for regular working families of South Bend every single day. And they are getting results. Their work continues to go beyond just providing temporary emergency assistance to families in crisis, which is important for the stability of our community. They have taken on major issues like renters' rights, fighting for the residents of Cedar Glen apartment complex. They created a new fire territory to increase public safety. And Portage Township's Health and Eating Initiative, Nourish, is working to increase the health of low-income populations. Trustee Jason is even supporting local public education in a campaign to educate the community by bringing transparency to the local government processes. This year, in partnership with Real Services, Portage Township even opened the area's only permanent senior community center called the Portage Commons at Colfax and William Street in downtown South Bend. Learn more about these services and much, much more at portage-township.com. The link is in the show notes. A heartfelt thank you to Jason and your team for all that you do for our area. When you think of traditions, you think of first thing is CJ's Pub Burger.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we have been blessed.
Yeah.
The building next to us, the hospital, demolished it. It fell into our building.
Okay.
We're so lucky nobody died. My brother was close to where all the rocks and stuff came in.
And what she's talking about is the building next door was being demolished, and a whole ton of it fell onto CJ's Pub.
Yes, it did.
Man, what were you guys feeling at the time? I mean, you were already seeing all the construction around you, then it fell. What instant thoughts? What? Anything?
Well, number one, we were glad nobody got hurt.
100%.
And number two, it was a challenge getting that place reopened.
Yeah.
We made it finally for football season.
Right.
But in between, we were completely closed.
No income stream.
No income, no nothing.
Fear of the unknown.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But I'll tell you, I couldn't believe. I was so humbled.
Yes.
At the messages we'd get from all over the country. You got to reopen. You got to reopen. You know, because of the Notre Dame stuff and the local people. You have to reopen. You have to reopen.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, the day we reopened, we were packed. We were so packed. We were so blessed.
That's beautiful. Again, you talk about the quality, the love and care you put into running the place.
Yeah.
And I wholeheartedly believe in karma. What goes around comes around. And you mentioned during that year, the year that you guys were in the fear of the unknown, as far as, are we going to stay here? Can we rebuild this place? Is it structurally sound? You guys had done a lot for people at that time, and other people turned around and helped you out during that time. For example, you mentioned like even Martin's. Is that the time that
called me?
Yeah.
And said, why don't we sell your burgers? So I got a confidentiality agreement with them. I sold them the seasoning.
Yeah.
And they couldn't keep up with them.
That's wild.
They just couldn't keep up with them. And so then to go back a little bit, the sauce. You know, when wings became popular, we decided to do our own wing sauce.
Yeah. Okay.
So I had people in, you got to bottle it, Judy, you got to bottle it.
Yeah.
So through a long process, we got that done. So Martin sold that too.
And that pretty came from the time
doing
you were off.
Something a little different.
See, that's awesome. That's great.
If you do something, you got to be quality, difference. And we've had a great staff. We've had some people, well, of course, passed away that have been there. Our head the kitchen's been there over 20 years.
That's amazing.
And he was younger,
Yeah,
so I'm saying.
correct.
And we've had a lot of people
Yeah.
that haven't moved away, that are still there. And
That's amazing. And so as soon as that building unfortunately fell onto the original CJ's, folks came out, and then you really felt the love.
we
I'm
certainly
sure.
did.
You really
We
felt the
certainly
love.
did. And to be closed that long, how many small mom and pop restaurants
Not many is all. Not many
that
at
would
all.
would weather all
I can't
that?
think of any. To be closed, your main no stream of income, uncertainty. You're dealing with insurance adjusters. Who knows if you're able to even stay at that location? You have the added, I don't want to say pressure, but the added cloud there of Memorial Hospital wanting the land too.
Yep.
And so that's not your normal situation. And to come out on top of that is beautiful. I want to read something to you about that time period of when CJ's was closed for that time. I found this in the South Bend Tribune. I'll have to pull it up here, but you even had the future, you may not know this, you had the future South Bend police chief, Scott Ruskowski, took the time to write a letter to the South Bend Tribune advocating for CJ's. All right, here's the letter from Scott Ruskowski, South Bend. To the average reader, it could just a guy named Scott Ruskowski, but 20 years later, 2025, he's the chief of South Bend Police. Step up. When are those obviously responsible going to step up and do something? 4 months ago, the old Gateway Center building fell on CJ's during the demolition for Memorial Hospital expansion. It seems the big companies will demolish the little family business by doing absolutely nothing about the damage they caused. CJ's Pub is in shambles. The business cannot operate for safety reasons, and the tarp is an eyesore to our beautiful downtown. Apparently, the promises made by Memorial and Warner in January were false. Memorial said it would help investigate. Let me help. Demolition was in progress. An error was made and a building collapsed on another one. Sounds pretty simple, and that took 4 seconds, not 4 months. Simple solution, either fix the building and its contents or move the business elsewhere. People in the Michiana area and many around the country miss CJ's Burgers and its atmosphere. What happens to the days when someone's word meant something? Scott Ruskowski, South Bend. Isn't that amazing?
I love that.
Did you know that he even wrote that? Or isn't that neat?
I don't remember it.
Of course. That's cool. But here, literally at the end, fix it, and he noted that people in the Michiana area and many around the country miss CJ's Burgers and its atmosphere. That's awesome. Then it was September of 2005. There was an article, CJ's rises from the rubble. And your brother, there was a few quotes in there, and I'll send you some of these articles just to send you out, email them or text them. Yeah, but it's neat. Your brother, you could sense the frustration in his voice. Like, hey, we've been working here. We're trying to get back. You guys it was like $250,000 or something like that it cost. And anyway, you could sense the frustration. So once you guys finally did reopen, I'm sure it was just, it was cool.
It was.
All right, and speaking about some traditions of CJ's Pub, we talked about the world-famous CJ's Pub burgers.
Yes.
You mentioned the CJ's Pub sauce, to which there's also multiple recipes that you can use the sauce in that you guys have articulated and printed up too. The next tradition that I want to talk to me about the pictures on the walls. I love it.
Those were amazing. And we lost a lot of them when the building fell down. But what happened is one of I think it was beer distributors, had all kinds of picture frames.
Yeah.
And so they couldn't get rid of them. So my brother had this great idea and said, we're going to take pictures of everybody in the bar, hang them on, put them in the frames and hang them up.
Pre-cell phone. This is film, and this is having to get it developed.
And people still come in and look.
That's amazing.
It still come in and look. Isn't that awesome? He came up with that idea, and it was a great idea.
That is neat. It's almost like a social media ahead of time, but just physically there.
Yeah. There was no, like you said, no cell phones or anything, and we had a bunch of picture frames, and my brother said, I know what we'll do.
Just take pictures of people having fun.
Yeah, and they were all for it. They still come in and look, we lost a few, because the building, when it came in, it really knocked a wall down.
That's crazy.
And So anyway, we lost a lot of them, but we still, when you go in there, you can see them.
Yeah, you still have a whole bunch of them.
And we've lost some pictures, but we used to get all the pictures in of the, like hockey, football, just everybody.
Yeah.
Golf, whatever.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you come in and look around, you'll get some history.
Yeah, for sure. And that, matter of fact, next I was going to ask about the relationships with like Notre Dame and St. Mary's and those groups or students over the years. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, we are, like I said, the 1988 football team, that was their cheers.
Yeah.
And now they've got kids that graduated from Notre Dame and stuff like that. But we get a lot of them come in and they'll have their kids with them, older. They'll say, oh, that's my hockey stick, or there's our pictures. And, they go around. That really makes us feel good that they liked us enough to do that. In fact, Pat Garrity,
former basketball player, NBA
was
player.
And he came in a few months ago. Well, had a burger, came up, said, it's as good as I remember. So, good. I mean, that's the kind of thing that keeps us going. People say, well, you got to go to CJ's. You got to come here. We've got this. We've got, our nightlife. We've got all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. Speaking of the nightlife, now Notre Dame and St. Mary kids, they still come hang out, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Okay. What are some things that you do to keep these 21, 22, 23-year-old kiddos coming at night?
Well, the tradition, I think, and I'm not there at night enough. But we have different things they do, different specials and
I see.
Lights and
DJs or bands or whatnot or.
But they do a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And this last semester, we had, I'm a cancer survivor.
Right.
So there's a donation we did of the door to this, for the college. There was some form of cancer thing. We do a lot of donations. You think of something
I'll get there
good.
Too. Yep.
So that's part of it too.
I got you. Okay. Yeah, because it always is. Over the years, seeing the different spots that kids have hung out at over those years, it changes and stuff. But man, even when I was a student at Holy Cross College in 1996, 97, 98, we went to CJ's. And it's still 30 years later, after even then, it's still going strong.
We're blessed.
You mentioned Pat Garrity, you mentioned the 88 team. Any notable celebrities or athletes over the years come in? Okay.
Paul Horney.
Okay.
Came in every Friday for our homemade clam chowder and a burger.
Nice.
And when we got our burgers into Martin's and that, he said we can use his name to promote the burger in South Bend.
That's cool.
Which we did. Yeah. So it's the burger Paul Horney needs when he's in town. Well, he's now since passed.
Of course, he passed.
Philbin's been in a few times. Yeah. That picture is kind of gone. But we've had a lot.
Yeah, and if
Ted Danson came in.
There was a paper article, wasn't he? He's out politicking for Hillary Clinton or something like that. Yeah.
And he came in, and we were blessed to have. They had a good time. I got pictures of him behind the bar, because he
like
did
cheers,
the cheers thing. Yeah.
That's neat.
And we've got a lot of people. If you look on the walls, you'll see a lot.
Yeah, that's when folks come in and get a burger, they'll look up all around and see over the years the different athletes to come in and folks and
the coaches.
Yeah.
Arsegan. We did before COVID. We did a lot of catering.
Yeah.
Like for the basketball team.
Okay.
Different. Charlie Weiss, we did a burger buffet at his house.
I got you.
And
okay.
So we've done a lot. We're not caterers.
Right.
We cater like our burgers and we do wraps and we could do a lot of things, but we're not, into that. Well, we just don't have the facilities. I don't have an oven. I don't, certain things you can't do and which you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. But that is neat though. And again, it goes back to those strong relationships that you formed over the years and that dedication that people have to CJ's Pub.
We're very, very blessed.
That's amazing. Just, many traditions over the years. I mean, just with one restaurant, one establishment. A brief word from one of our sponsors. I want to thank the Mishawaka Historical Museum for helping to support our content, and I couldn't be happier to help support them and to continue to share the good word about the museum. I highly recommend that our listeners visit, and I promise that you'll learn something new about our area's history. You'll experience what is hands down the most comprehensive collection of artifacts and historical background, all specific to Mishawaka, Indiana. You will learn tons from the artifacts and corresponding information. You'll learn how early industry was crucial to Mishawaka, Cam and Schellinger Brewery, Ball Band, and Dodge Manufacturing, to name a few. You'll learn about famous Mishawakans, including professional baseball player Freddie Fitzsimmons or Coach Marvin Wood, the coach depicted in the movie Hoosiers, who also coached at Mishawaka High School as well. Speaking of Mishawaka schools, there's a whole section dedicated to the history of schooling in Mishawaka, including some real neat old uniforms, banners, and photographs. Speaking of photographs, the museum contains one-of-a-kind pictures depicting a variety of Mishawaka subjects, each with a caption explaining more about it. In the military heritage section, you'll learn about Mishawaka's role over the years in helping to keep our country free. In the historic landmarks section, you'll see some amazing pictures and artifacts from historical Mishawaka landmarks, some still standing and some that were sadly lost to time. There's also a section dedicated to the importance of churches and religion to the city. And if you ever have any questions about any of the artifacts or information the museum contains, Pete DeKeever, the president and curator of the museum, is an absolute tank of knowledge about Mishawaka, and he is there to answer any specific questions you have or to provide more background to any of the museum's artifacts. If you and a group of friends or family are looking for something to do and want a guided tour, the museum offers those as well. Again, folks, I highly encourage you to visit the Mishawaka Historical Museum. You don't need to plan an all-day visit. 1 or 2 hours is all you need to experience everything that I mentioned above and much, much more. They're open Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. For only a $5 entrance fee, $3 for children 6 to 18, and free for 5 years and younger, you can experience a local gem of a place at 121 South Main Street, just south of the Lincoln Way and Main Street intersection. When you stop in, tell them that you heard about the museum on our podcast. Again, I'm very excited to be spreading the good word and encouraging you all to visit. To learn more, visit their website at www.mishawakamuseum.org, or the link is also in our show notes. And now, back to the episode. Your brother Ricky had Rick had passed away in September of 2009. Now did he get sick or?
Well, he was in the hospital with pneumonia about 7 months before.
Uh-huh.
And all of a sudden he'd be walking and fall.
Wow.
And it ended up he had cancer and it was advanced and he died.
Man, tough time, I'm sure.
It was extremely tough.
I'm sure. That's
extremely tough.
I mean,
and then at that time, too, with everything going on, we were kind of looking at different spots in case we needed to.
Of course.
So 236 South Michigan was something where we're at now that they had looked at.
Okay.
But he got sick, and during all that time, and
so
when
he
died,
was a part of well, he had to have been, my gosh, yes, because, so after the building fell in 2005, you guys probably were looking for another spot, and he was a part of that.
Yeah, a little bit, but we were so busy reopening and trying to stay together. And but anyway, he passed away.
Yeah.
And then we had to move in January.
Okay.
And
golly.
the South City, because 236 had some bars in it.
Yeah.
And the city said, we're not allowing any bars in that spot because they had problems or something.
Yep.
I never worried about anybody else but us.
It was, at Little Point, it was the dueling bar. It was the dueling Piano One Rum Runners, which didn't get, if I recall, because that was in my heyday. I was in my early 20s back in 2005, 2004. But the bar that really caused the issue, I think it was called Bench Warmers.
Yeah.
That was the one that caused the issue. That place got crazy. So when you guys went to move in there in 2010, the cities didn't want you to, huh?
No, they wanted us. They didn't want any other bar. But when they found out CJ's coming, they said, "Oh yeah, it would be good to have an institution right there." And there was not a problem with us. As soon as it was CJ's, they said, "No, we want you." But then again, too, we moved locations, and, people are used to one location and then coming, but we had no problem. Everybody.
The transition was pretty as easy as it could be then?
Except it took us, the place was nothing in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing in it. Walls.
Yeah.
And floors. No kitchens, no nothing. So it took us a lot to get at the wall, if you remember, had the dueling things that had paints or something on it. That all had to be
redone.
The bar had to get set up, and we had our stuff in storage.
Yeah.
And by then we finally got it in, but it took us that long to get the place, the kitchen.
Yes.
The Ansel system, everything else put in, because everything was taken out. So whatever happened to rum runners or something, there was nothing in there.
Bare bones.
It was bare bones.
Golly.
And the ledge, that was all, we had to put that up. But anyway, we got it done.
Yeah, that's great. And that would have been in 2010.
Yes.
And that's crazy that's 15 years ago.
I know it. Can you believe that?
I mean, that's crazy. Man, so you were in that other location for 25 years and you've been in this one for 15. That is crazy. Wow.
But we made it.
Yeah, you did. A quick side note about how intertwined our local history, stories, and locations are. As you just heard, CJ's is now located at 236 South Michigan Street on the northeast corner of Michigan and Wayne Street. This exact same intersection played a huge role in two of our previous Round the Bend Now and Then episodes. As you heard in Notre Dame versus the Klan, author Todd Tucker described the riot that took place at the exact same location where CJ's is located now. There was a 3-story building with a grocery store on the ground level, and the Ku Klux Klan actually rented out upstairs as its local headquarters. Notre Dame students were none too pleased with the KKK's arrival to town, so they threw potatoes through the windows and generally clashed with the racist KKK members. A Real South Bend Scoundrel was another episode that we did that a major event occurred in the exact Michigan and Wayne Street intersection. In our interview with author Greta Fisher about her book on local criminal John Talbot, we learned that he had his offices in the building directly across the street from CJ's at the same exact intersection. In his office, we learned that in a drunken, blacked-out stupor, Talbot lit a cigarette, passed out, and literally burned himself to death. Went up in flames in a building that still stands today, directly across the street from CJ's Pub. Again, just a few more examples of how intertwined our past is to our present. Now, back to our interview with Judy and CJ's Pub. You mentioned you battled cancer, and just talk to us about the challenges of continuing to operate a CJ's Pub, but focusing on your health and weighing all that.
Everything was on my sister. I had gone through my regular tests, Yep. And my doctor called, said I had cancer.
Oh, God.
It grew.
Yeah.
Stage 3 already. Ooh. And so I was in shock.
Yeah.
And so anyway, during that I had a blood infection and I had a lump here. Yeah. So they wanted to take it out to make sure it wasn't cancer and whatever. So 5 surgeries later, chemo, and 34 radiations, and I'm cancer-free.
Woohoo! Golly.
But by the time I got through all that,
it
was 1920, COVID hit. And that
was... One more roadblock.
That was bad. Yeah. So, you just never give up. You take each day as it is.
I love it.
And you can't.
Yep.
You've got to just press and go on. So that's what we do.
I love it. Love it. My grandpa used to say, just buck up. Just keep going. Speaking of another CJ's tradition, it's not just the people. It's not just the food. It's not just the pub burgers. Not just the pictures on the walls. So over 20 years ago, I read an article. Your brother recorded an album live right in CJ's pub.
Yes, he
did.
did.
The proceeds went to the homeless shelter.
Yep.
And it was called Ricky, Joe, and Friends.
Yep.
And then I read also in 2001, CJ's had donated a quarter from each hamburger to, I think it was the homeless shelter or whatnot.
Yeah.
A few other philanthropic thing over the years. But then I was just in CJ's a couple weeks ago. I saw something that said Cookies with a Cause.
Cookies for a Cause.
Or Cookies for a Cause. Talk to us about that.
Okay. With downtown, they have Restaurant Week.
Okay.
And you look at the restaurants, and they bring in different food to try, and they do this and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it just doesn't, you give a price deduction of something that you already do, which you do on specials anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I came up with Cookies for a Cause.
Yeah.
And that's what started it.
Uh-huh.
The cookies are out there.
Yeah.
We ask for $1 donation if you can do more or whatever. But the cookies are there. And in this case, we eat the cost of the cookies.
Okay.
So there's no special thing.
Yeah.
And then it all goes to a cause. So we've been doing that.
That's
we do
beautiful.
Pet Refuge.
Okay.
We've done.
Kind of rotate.
We have done. This month is Cultivate Foods.
Okay. Yeah. The food.
Yeah.
Bank.
We've done that before. And we have just done a ton of them.
It's beautiful.
Whatever,
Yep.
comes in, we try to do something, and we do it a month, and then we give them a check.
That's beautiful. And it that's why I love shining that spotlight on a lot of our local organizations is nothing operates independently in a silo. We all are here to help each other. We're all here to lift each other up. And so in me spreading the good word about CJ's, it's helping CJ's out. CJ's helping the community with different things. And it's just, it to me, it's all intertwined. And so.
Well, we try.
Yes.
We're a very small.
Of course. Oh, gosh, yes. Absolutely.
And, we're still recovering from COVID.
Yes.
Trying to.
Yes. More of the interview in a moment, but first, a word from another one of our sponsors. I want to thank MT Box Computers for helping to support our podcast and our content. Located at 2921 Mishawaka Avenue in South Bend, right in the heart of River Park, MT Box Computers can help your business reduce its cost and increase its productivity. MT Box Computers is a full-service computer and network solution company. Their technicians are certified by industry-leading standards. They work with small and medium-sized businesses in the Michiana area to provide computer-related support, as they not only understand technology, but they also understand the day-to-day needs of small businesses. They strive to find the best solution for your business. Through experience, they have found that most companies have different needs, and those needs require different solutions. They'd love the opportunity to evaluate your business's current technology environment and discuss ways that they can increase your productivity and save you money. Check out their website at mtboxcomputers.com to learn more. A link to their website is in the show notes. And now, back to the episode.
And when we reopened after COVID, and instead of raising our prices, because our prices skyrocketed, what we did is we charged the credit card fee. So we didn't have to pay it. So it gives people an option. If you don't want to pay the credit card fee, you can bring in cash. Even though we still do all credit cards.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
But anyway, that helped, and we're going to have to raise our prices again a little bit.
Yeah.
It's gotten unbelievable, and we're smaller too.
Of course.
We don't, and I'm not going to go down on my quality.
Right. That's something that you stand.
And I'll tell you
with.
something. We use great beef. We use chicken.
Yeah.
That's no processed, no chemical, none of that other garbage in it. Even when you come in and get a ham sandwich or something, that's all clean label.
Nice.
We use farm fresh eggs,
Yep.
organic egg. We don't do anything
On the cheap.
And I'll tell you something. We have used the farmer's market forever.
Nice.
Can you
Another
believe that?
community.
It's a community.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something. We were at the other place, and we've probably been at the farmer's market for 30 years.
Wow.
And the tomatoes were coming in. They were expensive, and they tasted like crap.
Yeah.
So we went to the farmer's market. They travel and bring in their product. So everybody loves, they'll say, oh, the tomatoes here are good. Well,
that's neat.
We use the farmer's market.
That's neat.
And we have done this before this became popular.
Oh, yeah, before the whole farm to table thing. Yeah.
So we have been doing it. But that's what I think people like about us.
Yeah.
Our food is good.
Yep.
They can tell.
Yeah. You can taste the
They can
quality.
Yep. They can taste the quality.
Yep.
And do we mess up sometimes? Yeah. Mess up an order, mess up that. But we try to take care of people when they come in. If we mess you up, you're going to get a drink or something. We don't want you to leave mad.
Yeah. That's because it's all about word of mouth too. And when one person goes tells another
and we
person,
made foodnetwork.com. Can you believe that?
For the burgers or just for the whole everything?
The burgers.
That's neat.
Food Network for the burgers.
That's cool.
We were in Chicago Tribune, some magazine. Somebody brought it in saying they were voting best burgers in Chicago. And it said, well, if you want a good burger, the best where you need to drive to South Bend and have one at CJ's.
It's a lot of pressure on you guys. My God.
I know. And where this is cut, we made Ben's Journal.
Yeah.
We made, we were on Sports Illustrated, and they called and they said, could we use your name? And I'm going, well, sure. Yeah. No way.
Yeah.
And it was in there. Somebody was in there probably through Notre Dame and ESPN, whatever. And they came in, let's go get a burger. And it impressed them enough to put it in their article.
Everything speaks. And so everything speaks. And so they were.
Can you believe that?
No, that's a testament though. You know, the good quality, the hard work, everything speaks.
Yeah. And not everybody's going to like everything.
Nope.
But we try our best. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
And we just keep going. And I just keep thinking, Cindy and I, it's just her and I now.
Aww.
And we just think it's things to do it. And I've been blessed. My husband backs me up.
Yeah.
When we have catering and, when we're doing burgers or something.
Yeah.
I can remember at the old place, we had to put a grill outside. And my husband was cooking there. So.
Put him to work.
It's a family-oriented thing.
And that's kind of leads...
Both of my boys have worked there.
That's beautiful. That leads to kind of this last kind of reflective question, or what are some of the more rewarding things over the years? And we've kind of just talked about it, but is that one of them?
Yep, that's one of them.
Yep.
And just, like I said, I feel blessed. I have a great family, very family-oriented.
Yeah, yeah.
And that plays a big part.
Huge.
And like I said, everything I went through...
Yeah. Correct.
My husband was my rock.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's neat.
He had to put up with me.
That's cool. Thank you, Judy. Thank you once again for listening to another episode of Round the Bend Now and Then. An extra special thanks to Judy Gish for joining us and sharing the story behind CJ's Pub. Folks, go out and grab a burger and a drink. Also, don't forget to support the sponsors of this episode, MT Box Computers, the Mishawaka Historical Museum, and the Portage Township Trustee's Office. The links to their websites are in the show notes. Join us again next time as we learn more about South Bend and Mishawaka's Now and Then.